Real life.
Superpowers.
Up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
It's alive!
Real life.
Superpowers.
We're here with Chen Levanon, co-founder and CEO of SimilarTech and one of the most influential women in Silicon Valley. Chen, hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Gladly. So what are you up to these days, Chen?
Visiting Israel.
This holiday?
I'm trying to do it once a year for a month and a half, so my kids will be not very American.
How's that going?
I think okay. I think it's tough for me and my husband because it's a month and a half, but we're doing it for them so they will know the language, culture,
What's wrong with
grandparents.
American?
Nothing. It's just if I want them at the end of the day, to come to the army, want to live here, maybe we'll come back. I don't know. So they need to be not very American.
How long have you been living in the United States?
3 years.
3 years. So were your kids born there or?
No. So I went to school there and then worked in New York and then came back for 7 years and then came back again and then went back again in 2015 when they were 6 months and a year and a half.
Right. And your families are here in the United States?
Yeah,
They're all here?
We're all here. My brother just graduated Stanford and now I'm trying to relocate my other brother. So who knows? I'm trying to shift them.
So like the family is somewhere in the United States and somewhere in Israel?
They're all in Israel.
They're all
He went to school. He went to Stanford for a year.
Got it. Okay.
So now you're co-founding SimilarTech, right?
Yeah.
And that's the relocation that you're talking about?
No, so I moved to San Francisco in 2015 together with Clicksmob.
Mm-hmm.
So a company that we founded here in Israel 2012-13. And then few years later, I moved there. So basically from 2012-13, I used to fly to San Francisco more than twice a month because all the customers were there. And then eventually in 2015, I relocated my family.
So,
and then I stayed there.
So wait, let me put this in order for a second.
Yeah.
So as I know,
Yeah.
right, you're formerly a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And then you're formerly a professional financial expert. And
Okay.
then afterwards you were a co-founder in a few startups that were also sold, and some of them are very successful right now. So you're like, how old are you? Sorry for the question.
No, it's
I
fine.
know you're not supposed to ask
it's okay.
women,
We're in Israel, right? I'm 34, almost 35. Yes, I used to be an athlete. It's funny, if you tell my husband, he was like, prove it, please.
Really? You don't do any sports these days?
No. It's like I gave up on my sleeping and working out with kids and another one on the way. So, it's just like, hopefully soon I'll go back to that. But
When did you stop?
So professionally, I stopped in 2006 when I graduated from Brandeis, and then I started to be an investment banker at Lehman Brothers.
And when you say professionally, what do you mean?
So I got a sports scholarship to Brandeis University. That's why I went to Boston, and then I ran track there for 100 hurdles, and then when I got accepted to Lehman Brothers. Investment banking was, I don't know if it was my dream because I didn't know anything about it. But when you go to private school and you study econ and business, everyone is like, oh, the top of the top is the Wall Street. I didn't know anything about it, but it's the top of the top.
That's what you do.
I want to be there.
You want to be there.
Yeah. So that's what I did. So I did my summer internship at Bear Stearns and then my full time in Lehman Brothers.
Were you happy there?
I really liked my summer internship. I just hated investment banking.
Right.
Why?
I think 50% because of me and 50% because of the society. The 50% because of me, I think I was a rookie. I just graduated. I didn't know anything. I was very, okay, this is what I was taught and this is what I will do. But it's very men dominated. I felt as if I'm like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like, I cannot think. It's like I was taught to use this PowerPoint and this Excel and think about this merger and this IPO, and this is how it's getting done.
Right.
I didn't really understand what I'm doing. I was like
Wait.
a monkey.
So was it because of male domination, or was it
No,
because you're a rookie?
No. It's because this is the society. I think this is, at least this is what it was in 2006-7. I don't know. I believe it's the same thing now. You have like 3 months of training, and they teach you how to use Excel and Word without your mouse to spend less time.
Oh, wow.
Like, you're a monkey.
Yeah, like your
You're a
output has to be
monkey.
like a machine.
Exactly. And this is the format, and this is the logo, and this is what you do. And it's an amazing school, don't get me wrong, because I believe that,
School of efficiency.
yes, and school of like orders and I don't know, or American corporate, and who is leading and who is the manager and how you need to respect them and so on. And back then, I didn't think that I'm the only woman in the floor besides the secretaries or whatever. But now when I look back, it was men-dominated business. It didn't bother me at that time, I have to say. It
But-
didn't.
So that's really interesting, actually, on a different point, though. So you're saying kind of like a monkey, like on the terms that you're a robot. You had to do exactly what you're told, and that bothered you, right? Was it?
Yes, because I finished it and I didn't really understand. I didn't feel that I understood it.
Right.
Right.
There's people who don't care about that. Like they can't, they come to work and, they want
And they
something
made
defined.
tons of money.
And they want something defined.
Yeah,
They have no problem with that box.
I admire
And the
them.
prestige that comes with it. Do you
I
know?
admire them.
I don't.
No, I don't know. Like, yes, good for them. I can't do that. For me, I wasn't happy. I worked 120 hours a week. Like I had my husband, my boyfriend at that time, he didn't really see me. Like I used to come back at 3, 4 a.m., take a shower, going back to the office at 6 a.m. But basically it prepared me to motherhood. Because I still think that it's harder to be an investment banker than a mother. Like for me, it wasn't a big deal. Now I guess a lot of moms are going to hate me and this is not the point. But for me, like to be an investment banker, I really didn't sleep. To be a mom, I slept every 3 hours, right? So for me, it really prepared me to motherhood the first 3 months.
And do you think if you were sort of able to learn the profession more and get good at it? Because I think it seems to me like it bothered you a little that you weren't the best there.
Correct.
That you weren't some sort of rising star in your landscape. Do you feel like if you were, maybe that would enable you to have passion for what you're doing?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So maybe you were lucky in that respect because maybe that
Correct.
saved you.
Correct. Because then I would have stayed.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Correct. Yeah. I think you touched the point.
So how do you escape this?
So I finished my 2 years analyst, and obviously I wanted to do something else.
Does it have to be 2 years, or was it just
No, it's
you
like
saying
2
enough?
years, and then you can extend it to another year.
Yeah,
and
was
then,
the contract?
Yes, it's like 2 years analyst, and then you can extend it to another year analyst, and then there were tons of layoffs, right? Because it was before September 2008. So, and I left June. So 3 months before it went bankrupt. At the end of the day, everything happened for a reason because they relocated me back to Israel after a year. And I didn't really want to go back because I wanted to get my MBA there, blah, blah. But it was like I was 23, offered me tons of money. And I'm like, of course. And like I was lucky because a lot of my foreign friends, they had 30 days to leave the country because when the sponsor for your visa goes bankrupt, you have to leave the country in 30 days. So it's very like everything happened for a reason. A year before I was relocated and then I finished. So it was
Maybe
a
they
good
went
ending.
bankrupt before you because you left.
Yeah, and also Bear Stearns, I did the summer internship. They also went bankrupt before. So I don't know. But after that, I really wanted to do. So what was nice with my position in Lehman Brothers, it was an analyst, it was the entry level. But because it was the Israeli team, I wasn't focused on one industry. I was focused on the Israeli industry. So I could do tech, healthcare, real estate. And it's amazing because usually in investment banking, you have the tech group, the real estate group, and then you focused on one. And there, I wasn't. We focused on everything. So it was nice. So I really liked real estate, but the income producing real estate, not the commercial. And so
What did you like about it?
just because it makes sense, it's recurring revenue. It's not you buying, you selling. It's actually you building a model behind it, and you actually use your brain because it's very tricky, right?
What's tricky about it?
It's tricky because it's not just financial. It's legal. It's sales. You need to know how to sell. You need to manage the management company. In each, like in Israel, it's different. In America, it's different. You need to list the ground, and then you need to deal with the banks. So it's not just pure, I'll go and I'll buy and I'll go and I'll sell. So I think like it was a while ago, but this is what I liked about it. So, and I focused so I said, okay, so the next thing I'll do, it will be one industry because I want to know in one industry. I want to focus. And that's why I hunt down the CEO.
And then what?
So I was in Holmes Place in Givatayim, where all the CEOs and chairmen or whatever work out at 6 a.m. in the morning. And then I knew him, from the newspaper, and I knew that it's income producing real estate. They had shopping malls, and it's a publicly traded company in Israel. But I had some background to deal with shareholders and investors, and then I asked his personal trainer and my personal trainer to introduce us.
Who is him?
Danny Vaknin. He used to be the CEO of Menofim, and before that in Phoenix Ashkaot, I think.
So you asked the personal trainer to
introduce me to him.
Okay, and that worked out?
I told him I just want to introduce myself. Let's have breakfast, and he said yes.
And knowing you, that's a theme. You want to meet somebody, you're going to meet that person.
The thing is that I just don't understand why to say no and why to be shy, because it will happen anyway. So if it will not happen like this, I will send him. It's like I don't see a no. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but I don't see a no.
But tell us a bit more about that, because a lot of people want to meet people who can help them progress in life. But I think if you just come up to someone and say, let's have coffee, that's almost a waste of their time. Like, you have to have something to offer them. Otherwise, why would they sit down with you?
Because when people ask me to have coffee, I say yes. So I expect everyone else to do it. It's a stupid thing to say, but that's the truth. I'll tell you a funny story. A couple of months ago, I was in Palo Alto with my lawyer, breakfast, and then Sheldon Adelson just came in. And I told my lawyer, I was like, I know that we have a meeting, but I'm sorry. I'm going to introduce myself. So I just went there, and he invited me to sit.
Did you play the Jewish card?
I played the one that I went to Brandeis.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Although it's very lefty and he's not, so I know. But so I just told him, he said, okay, my wife is late. Just like have a seat. And we just had a talk. And it was really nice. And we talked about my first company and my second and why. And then he asked my business card. And it was nice. Like, oh my God.
Did you get in touch with him afterwards?
No, I didn't. But it wasn't the point. It was nice to hear his view and the questions that he asked. And he was so kind. And he didn't have to do it. But why not to do it,
I think it's part of your superpower, though, because I think something that's special about you is that you really don't take no for an answer, but you charm your way into it.
Maybe. I also saw Bruce Jenner, from the Kardashian, that now he's Catherine, right? I don't know. So I did my baby moon in Malibu, and he was an athlete, right? An Olympian, like he's my hero. He was my hero. I ran after him, and my husband is like filming me. And I'm like, oh my God, you're my hero! I ran track in Brandeis, and the paparazzi like took pictures of us, and people thought I'm crazy, but. How cool, like, it's amazing, right? You're a kid and you see on TV and all of a sudden you see your hero. It's like, why not?
Like, you see your hero, but you also understand that at the end of the day, everyone is just a person.
It's
so
just a person.
If you just approach in the right vibe and you just really believe, you're not going to hear a no. Yeah. I believe that something magical almost happens and the person just is almost hypnotized into just rolling with you.
An entrepreneur told me a good sentence. He said, everybody has a hero, and the heroes have their heroes.
Yes, it's so true.
Catherine
it's so true.
Is running after, whoever wherever
Yeah.
he desires to be.
It's so true.
So, you have to be empathetic to the person who's looking up to you because you have that
Yeah.
same person. So you took
You
inspiration
know,
from somewhere.
A couple of years ago, when I interviewed someone in San Francisco, and she
For a job?
Yes, and she came to the office, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so simple. You're like." I'm like, "What am I supposed to be?" And she told me, "I don't know. I heard about it." I'm like, "Oh my God, this is what people think about me, and this is what I think about other people." So it's the same thing.
Right.
People like so.
But do you feel like maybe sometimes you're taking the magic out of things? I sometimes personally feel that way, that I have such high thoughts of people, and then I meet them, and there's this childish part of you that's a bit disappointed that it
Yeah.
is just a person.
Yes, and so what?
Because it's
Yeah.
build up.
It's a build.
it's
But
build
it's,
up.
and it's
It's
not
true.
true. It's almost never true.
It's a build up.
true. It's almost like-
It's like in anything. Genghis Khan used to say, send one messenger to tell everybody about the gruesome deaths. Just to get everybody built up before and get
Yeah.
scared. So
It's all
the
a
same thing
story.
also in a relationship. You're going on a date with someone and someone tells you these
Yeah.
amazing stories.
And after a few months,
And then, you get used to everything.
disappears.
You have an office in the
True.
ocean, you get used to the ocean in
Right.
front of you.
It's
Right.
true.
We're people.
But I
We
sometimes
get used
ask
to anything.
myself that maybe I should just leave some stuff detached. and
So,
just-
so a really geeky sentence is either die a hero or see yourself become the villain. So it may be not a villain, but when something becomes too realistic, it becomes a little bit boring.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
it, though.
Yeah.
I sometimes ask myself, maybe I should just.
but it happens.
It happens.
It will happen.
So it will happen, and it happens, and you just need to say, okay, that's life.
Yeah, move on to the next goal.
When you went to Holmes Place, but something doesn't work out for me. Like you knew in Lehman Brothers that you wanted real estate. You went to work out in Holmes Place. Did you already know he's working out there? Was it like a stalking thing or?
No. I saw him for like 6 months. I saw him, like I knew everyone, like the IC, like Chevrat Chashmal CEO, a chairman was there. The S&P CEO was there. Like I knew everyone, and I knew them.
Because you're reading newspapers all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I used to read. I used to read, all the Globes and the Marker, and I don't remember if
Any
Capitalist
financial,
was there. But yeah. We had to when working in investment banking. We had to every
Right.
morning. And
Yeah, that's the game. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
yeah. I'm not doing it anymore, but yeah, I used to.
So you asked him for a job, and what do you say?
No, it wasn't that simple.
She asked him for a
I
towel.
asked for breakfast. And then I just introduced myself and I said, I just want to be your personal assistant, but not like in terms of like secretary, like personal assistant. And he said, it's very flattering, but I just started a few months ago. Maybe I need it, but I don't know if I need it now, but let's be in touch. So I just put event, on my calendar every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks I send him a message, and kind of every 2 weeks or 3 weeks we had coffee.
That's amazing.
And then I have to say that I barely looked for another job because I knew that I'm
You
going
knew
to
that's
work.
going to
Yeah,
happen.
I knew it's going to happen.
Then
I-
laser focused
Yeah,
on this.
I took newspaper and went to Metzitzim and just read books.
the
and,
beach.
And even after, even after like a month or 2 months, I remember my parents telling me, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure. Don't worry."
Amazing.
Wait. So I have a question here. This is like super optimistic. So you knew you're getting this job. Your mindset was set on it.
Yeah,
Question: if it didn't happen,
no way.
no way.
It's not an option.
It's not an option.
But if it didn't happen, how would you act if it didn't happen?
I don't know because it's not an option. So I don't know.
But I'm sure there's situations
No,
where
I
you
didn't.
thought any time in life.
Of course, so it didn't really happen. So I had a lot of different options, but in this case, I didn't think that it will not happen. So I didn't even imagine an option.
Didn't you have
In
like some sort of plan B where you knew because
In this
basically
specific case, no.
your strategy here was this is probably the best person I can learn what I want to be best at. So I'm going to find a mentor, and I chose him. He's going to be my mentor. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be my mentor,
Correct.
and I'm going to learn everything I can from this guy.
Correct.
But didn't you sort of wonder, okay, if he's not going to be with me here, I can go and learn from the second best?
Not in this case. Like in other cases that happened in life, yes. In this case, maybe I don't remember. It was 2007 or 8.
But did you smell it on
I don't
him?
think.
Like, did you know? Like,
No, I really liked him. I think he liked me. I think he's exactly what I needed at that time because I felt as if I need to know business. and real estate. And if it's real estate, amazing, because this is what I want to do. But I really wanted to see what it's like to be CEO. Like, that was my passion at that time. I really wanted to see how he goes to a meeting, how he signs contracts, how he manages employees. Like,
But why
I
him?
really wanted, I don't know.
You don't know.
No, because with his background, and he's really nice and smart. So everyone that you ask around will say the same. Is amazing.
Did he teach you the things that you want to know? Like, because you're not working in real estate right now.
He taught me everything. He
Okay.
kind of taught me everything. He taught me how to be a person. And I think that after investment banking, it was one of my best lessons. He even say hi to the gardener, and he even say hi to the doorman. Those things didn't happen in investment banking, not in New York and not in Israel.
Because that's your payoff.
We didn't respect people, period. And
Because
again,
they need to feel separate from the rest. Because
maybe.
otherwise, what
and
justifies
again, it was
this?
2007. I don't want to judge. I don't know what's going on now.
Maybe
here.
now they say hi to the gardener.
I don't know. But he just taught me how to be person, first of all.
I think
And
you came with
how-
that before.
No, but she's saying in Lehman Brothers, there was probably a cockiness. It was so prestige.
I think investment banking, not just Lehman Brothers, investment banking, like the industry.
The industry.
The industry.
Yeah,
That's the standard. That's the industry.
the brand was very powerful and gave you a feeling of empowerment.
You go think about it. You go to Times Square. You have like 50-something floor building. You have to wear a boys' tie, girls, you have professional besides Fridays. You go to a meeting, you're an analyst, you sit there. You don't sit in the table. They're very like strict boundaries. Very strict boundaries. And all of a sudden, I learned how to be a person again.
So he taught you to be a person. What else?
How to manage employees without managing employees.
So tell us a
talk
bit about
about
that. Yeah.
So how to cause employees to work for you without telling you that you want them to do A, B, and C.
How?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think
Come
it's
on.
not something. No, I think it's not something that I can say it's because A, B, and C. It's because something that I saw. I admired him. I respected him. I didn't want to fail him. So I worked for him. So that's the feeling that he let me and his employees, and that's why they worked for him, not because they needed to work for him, because they wanted to work for him. So at the end of the
not
day,
wanting to let him down.
yes, and
given-
work your ass
and
off.
being given the freedom to do
Yes,
it your
and
way.
trust you. And one more thing that now I remember. So investment banking, it's a lot about paying attention to details, which I sucked. But anyway, I learned. They cared about, commas and semi-commas and capital letter, like all the small
Very
things.
much like law.
But I always knew that I have an associate above me that will correct me. With him, sometimes he used to give me like agreements, and I was like, "No, I trust you. We're going to send it." I'm like, "Are you not going to go through this?" He's like, "No, I trust you." So I went again to my table and read it again because I didn't want to disappoint him. So it's the small things that, oh my God, I did exactly the same in Clicksmob with my employees. Exactly the same. I knew that it's okay. It's not going to be perfect, but they're going to learn. And it's the small things that he taught me without him knowing that he taught me that, because those are the things that I took from it.
So how long did you work for him?
Almost 4 years, I think, 3 or 4 years.
And then you just decided,
No, he left, and then I left a year after.
Oh, you stayed after him?
Yeah, I stayed after him because it was new management and from abroad, and then it's about time. It's like, okay, now
Yeah.
I'm ready. Now I'm ready
So
to
ready for
manage.
what?
I'm ready. I didn't know. Okay, it's very tricky to be a COPA or to be like either a financial analyst or that you're doing everything of everything. Now your next step is kind of hard. It's tricky. Because you're not an expert in marketing, you're not an expert in sales, you're not a manager, you're not an accountant, you're not a lawyer. So it's tricky. What are you doing next? So it was really tough. It was really tough. I remember sending resumes around, and it was tough because I didn't know what I'm biz dev, I'm strategy, I didn't know. And then I was approached by 4 founders eventually, and they told me that
wait,
they have an
hang on.
idea.
What do you mean? And then you were approached. Like, how did that?
They got my resume. They say from all jobs or something like this,
Okay.
like random. And then they told me about their idea about mobile. I didn't know anything about mobile, and it was to take a risk.
And this was Clicksmob,
Yeah, it was-
the company which you ended up leading
Yeah.
and being sold.
Yeah. So that's what I did for 4 years. But basically,
That's a
it's
weird situation for you. You were. This is the only situation you told me till now that you really didn't know what you wanted. Like till now,
Correct.
you're really focused.
Correct. I had the same thing 2 years ago after we sold Clicksmob for like 5 months. And
How did that happen? Like you
because I reached my goal. It's like my goal was to be a CEO until I'm 30. Like since I was 21 or something like this. That was my goal. Because before that, I thought to go to Wingate and be a gymnastics instructor or something like this. But from like 21, 23, my goal is like, okay, I'm going to be a CEO when I'm 30. I don't know how. I don't know when I do, but like I don't know how I'm going to do it. But this is what I'm going to do, and I did it. And then I didn't have a new dream. And so
what did you do? Because that must have been difficult.
So it took me 5 months to understand that I need a new dream. Because once I figured out my new dream, I know what my next thing will be. I'm not going to share my new dream with you, but I have a new dream.
Now?
That's what after I.
What was your dream then?
Yeah.
So my dream then was to become a
After
CEO.
that. Oh.
So I didn't have, because from 30 to 33, I was a CEO. I reached my dream.
So it wasn't to sell the company, it was to manage the company.
No, it was to manage the company. I didn't know, sometimes ignorance is bliss. When I moved to San Francisco, then I started learning a lot of things that Israelis don't know. We Israelis think that we know everything. We know the best. We're building the best companies. We don't need help. And it's bullshit.
So what's the truth?
The truth is that we need help. We need to talk to other people. We need to understand how to build big companies. We're building amazing companies, but we're not building big companies.
Right.
And it's because we don't want to ask for help, or we don't want to ask for an advice, or we don't use the right tools because we just don't know. I built a company without CRM, marketing automation, customer communication, and like it's crazy.
But it worked.
Until a certain level.
To a certain level. Right.
Exactly. So when I moved in 2015 and started meeting with other people, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm making 20 million. It was like, okay, I'm making 20 million in a month. It's like, I'm not that great as I thought. I'm not that talented as I thought. It changed my perspective
But
completely.
it sounds very difficult.
Yeah, but challenging. Yeah. Like how amazing, like you sit with people that actually teach you and actually went through this once. I didn't think that I need help. I didn't think that I need to ask for help. I didn't think that they've been through something similar to me. And to be CEO, it's very lonely. Your employees look up to you, but you're alone.
Yeah.
You are alone. And if you don't have investors and you don't have advisors and actively founders, you are alone. And people forget it. People is like, see, oh my God.
You should have all the answers.
Exactly. And like you need to show confidence but you're alone. So people forget about it. So I think that I just didn't dream. It was to build a company, to do it better, to do it faster, and that's it. But after you sell it, and then it's like, okay, what you do next? It's like, but I don't know what I do next because I don't have a new dream.
So how did you find the new dream?
Yeah,
it took me 5 months, which is a lot. But at first you don't realize that you need to find your new dream, because you say, okay, let's do the next thing, but you don't know that what's the next thing. So it took me time to realize that I just need a new dream, and then I'll know what to do. And I think that the answer for that is just met tons of people with different industries. Entrepreneur,
how?
Big companies. San Francisco. I'm a friendly person, right?
Right.
You just meet people. You go to meetups. You go to different organizations. I'm part of a lot of different organizations now there. And
was this intuitive? Like, how did you know to do that?
It just happened. It's Silicon Valley. It just happens when you're there, and then you're introduced to one person, and you never. And another thing that Israelis don't realize, but I actually knew it because I lived there before, that nobody has to help me. Okay? Israelis think,
nobody
oh my
owes
God,
you anything.
Nobody owns me anything. Israelis, most of the time, it's like, oh my God, you need to help me. Why? Because you're my brother. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. You see tons of entrepreneurs.
Only on the basis that they're also from Israel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or because,
That's annoying.
right? It's very annoying. But I kind of knew the American culture already, right? I lived there before.
Oh.
So it wasn't from scratch for me, which was a huge advantage. And you just start to help companies. And then I started to advise some companies in mobile. I knew I didn't want to do mobile anymore, but I knew mobile really well. So I advised for startups. So it helped me a little bit to, to gain your
So you
trust
didn't
again.
really
And-
take any time off.
No, I had to take time off because I waited for my green card.
Okay.
So I had to. My parents all the time say lucky, but so I had to take time off a few months. But in those few months, I met tons of people. I interviewed to big companies, like to be chief something or VP there. Or
So you didn't
things like
become
that.
a little insecure with all those difficult feelings of actually not knowing everything and not being the big shot that you felt that you were. This didn't really hold you back. It sort of motivated you to be what you want to be.
Yes, but other things like demotivated me.
Like what?
This didn't bother me because whatever I'll do, I'll know. What bothered me is that I was so focused on myself and on mobile industry and on building a company without looking around and building my other networking
In other industries?
in other industries. So I'm not going to do the same mistake now. That's why I'm all over the place now. Even though I have a SaaS company, it's amazing, but I'm building my own network, my personal network, and also in different industries because it was tough. Because my network was mobile and I didn't want to do mobile anymore. And it's like a very strict industry. And so if I wanted to start a new company or be a GM or be CEO of a different
Start from
company,
scratch.
I can do it in a mobile space, but not in a mobile space. Nada.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything because I was so focused. I think I was really young. I was a young CEO, and that was one of my biggest mistakes.
But maybe, was it though? Didn't you have to be that way? Wasn't there some certain level of focus
Why?
that had to be invested for
But
that
why?
to succeed?
But why? Because this
Because
is why
maybe that-
Israelis think.
Sorry?
Because this is why Israelis think. I think that this is how we think here, and this is how I thought. But this is not how Silicon
No,
Valley
it's also
thinks.
once upon a time in a different generation there was expertise.
Yeah.
Correct.
Maybe today
Correct.
it's
So
not
maybe correct. So
And
maybe
today
it will
it's a
change.
personal brand.
But this is something that I tell everyone. I was like, go and speak. And he was like, why should I speak with them? Because you will learn. I didn't even think that I need to speak with other people.
right.
Because it's not for me, right?
Because you know.
Right.
So you founded now like SimilarTech.
I joined founders that built the platform.
So how did that happen?
Already? So I was introduced by a friend, or Offer is the CEO and co-founder of SimilarWeb, and he said we have a spinoff company that the founders there are very R&D or very business, and I think it's perfect. They have
Right.
the idea, they have the technology, now they need to build the business. And in those 5-6 months, I was in touch with them. It's like second marriage. You need to fall in love in your partners. So for us, they did the DD on me. I did the DD on them.
Did you fall in love with them or with the product or both?
Everything. I had to fall in love with everything. And it's tough. I was there, they were here, and I flew to Israel to meet with them.
Were
And
they concerned that you're over there?
no, I don't think it's a concern. I think
It's
it's
an advantage.
I think it's
Yeah,
an advantage.
I agree.
think but I don't know. We're so, it's not that we're best friends and now I'm going to have drinks with them, but we are the best partners because now we're two, but we're still in touch with the third, but they're very good in what they're doing and I'm very good in what I'm doing. So we work really well together. Hopefully the next companies or whatever will be together too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
how
you
come you
never
were
talk
3 and
about
now
the
you're
next one.
2?
Just because the third one wanted to work in a corporate. Just like
Not
this.
an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
That's very different to you.
very different. But I used to be like this. But it's like I already had it 2 years. He didn't. So maybe he needs to have it for a year or 2 years. And then that's it, it's out of his system.
Maybe also it's sometimes people find it difficult to handle the stress that's very inherent
For
in a
sure.
startup life.
For sure.
It's like a
For
roller
sure.
coaster.
For sure.
Real Life Superpowers doesn't do the whole sponsorship thing, but we do like to holler out about awesome stuff we think are cool or great ideas. This week, we're talking about something really specific. So the people who make shortcuts on keyboards. Awesome idea about the Control-Shift-T. So this is really specific, so concentrate, guys. Let's say I'm opened up a window, okay? And then by accidentally, because of ADHD, you close that window. And you're like, shit, where's that window? How am I going to get that window back? So I obviously can go to my history and bring back that window. But awesome guy at keyboard shortcut, Control-Shift-T, and that window is, bam, back on the screen. So awesome idea. I don't know, it's probably a guy named Brian, but it could be anybody. Great idea. And now I can get those windows back because I'm the ADHD guy who closes them. So the first company that you built was B2C or B2B?
No, it's also B2B. It's like B2BC.
Okay.
Right?
And now it's B2B.
And I wanted it. It's something I knew what I don't want to do. In those 5 months, I knew that I don't want to do mobile. I knew that I prefer to do SaaS. I wanted to work with billion companies. Like I wanted to do, negotiate with Google, Facebook, Amazon, PayPal, which I didn't. Now of course, we're working with everyone, but
Of course, women.
Of course.
no.
That's what I wanted to do. So it should happen.
I said I wanted, didn't I? Don't offend me.
It was like 5 seconds or I actually said that.
No, it took me more than I expected. It took me more time than I expected.
Sales cycle?
No, to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, to learn. Sales cycle, I knew that it will be longer.
What is the sales cycle right now?
I think it depends on the size of the company, but it's 1 to 3 months. Startup to SMB to enterprise can be 3 to 6. But there are some like 9 and 12. Relatively to SaaS, it's fine. I don't think I can handle more than that. But it's exactly the opposite than AdTech. It's exactly the opposite than a mobile industry.
In what sense?
You can sign $250K deal in a day.
In what?
In like mobile, right?
Right.
And it's not like this. And but the margin is very low. And in SaaS, the margins are very high, and the sales cycle. So it's very different. It's very different. And I thought, oh my God, I know really well mobile. I'll know really well SaaS in like 3 months. So it was hard.
So what did it take? 4?
I think it took me 6. I think I needed to go to tons of meetings, like meetings, and read books. I actually read books.
Because that's not something you typically do?
Like what is what?
No, I read books like Lean, shares, things that I care about. But I don't think you can learn your industry through books.
Right.
But
what kind of books then?
So I had to write, not like famous book, but for example, SDR. When you hear about SDR, not a lot of people know that SDR exists. What is SDR? I didn't know anything. Didn't know what is inside sales, outside sales, biz dev, SDR.
Cold, hot.
I didn't know anything. I really didn't. So I had to go to a lot of meetups and talk to tons of people and just taught myself. And I didn't think that I need to do it. I didn't think I needed to do it at first, but then I said, okay, if I want to sell, this is what I need to do. Because I think that once I sell, it means that I know my product. And once I sell, my confidence goes up. And when your confidence goes up, you can build a company. And sometimes when you don't sell and you have a lot of failure, your confidence goes down. And one of the things that drives me up and I feel that I'm happy, it's when my confidence is up. So this is the thing this is how I thought about it. So I thought about it really, realistic. It's like, okay, my confidence will be up if I'll sell. How am I going to sell? I'm going to learn how I'm going to sell. How am I going to learn how to sell? I'm going to just learn. So that's what I did. But it took me some.
I love that. You took a situation right now and you went backwards on the situation.
Correct. I did reverse
engineering of
yes.
So actually, that's one of the things I was taught in 21 when I had my first hero worked for. I want to stop on that for a second. So what you said is you had an end goal and then you cut back to it.
Yes.
What's the difference? Let's try to try to do this the oppositely. What's the difference from saying, okay, I have to get up and read a book between what's my end game and cutting it back?
So I think that I didn't do it with my first company, and I only thought about short term. And I only thought about what do I need to do now in order to succeed. And I think I just learned that sometimes you need to understand what you want and to understand, okay, if I want this, what will cause me to be here? I was also in a tricky situation because it's not that I built this company from scratch. Think about it. So I kind of need to learn. It's kind of easier to build a product from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit more challenging to come on board and learn something. So that was my situation. And now to keep up with the 2 years that they build the product and now I need to learn it, I didn't have another choice, you know? And also after leaving a company and selling it and moving to a different company and to be an expert in mobile and to, you know, I was sitting with people and I was like, I know mobile. And all of a sudden you're selling, but you don't know SaaS.
Right.
I had to know SaaS. So I had to to break down, to take a paper. I actually did it and say, okay, how do I get to know SaaS? What do I need to do? So I think that this is just the situation that I was in.
Very cool. And on the relocation side, what would your advice be on someone moving overseas right now?
So
You're with a family too.
on average, I'm meeting once, one entrepreneur every 2 weeks, either here or there, advising them about relocation. Because I was stupid enough not to ask people and made tons of mistakes.
Like what kind?
Not to take Airbnb in my first months and rent an empty house and come to the house with 2 babies, an empty house, and order pizza in on plastic plate and started crying and sending my husband to IKEA to buy at least beds for the kids.
Wow.
And on the way, buying Target towels and shampoo, stupid things like that. That why didn't I just take an Airbnb for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months and understand where do I want to live and things like that. And this is one of the best advice that I give it to a lot of people. And after that, they tell me
Thank you.
that it's oh my God, it's the best advice.
And it sounds like you have a super supportive family, right?
Yes. Yeah. Also, my husband is very supportive.
What is he doing there?
He works at Payoneer.
Okay.
So almost 2 years already. So we kind of once a quarter, he's coming to Israel once a quarter. I come to Israel once a year. We come with the kids. He goes to, so we have a lot of calendar event and about our schedule. But also his parents are helping. My parents are helping. So
how can they help from?
They can't. My parents are. My mom comes for 2 months, 3 months. It helps. It helps. But we're still alone there, but it helps.
And I have to ask the cliche question, how do you handle everything that you're doing? It's such a race with 2 kids and one very much on the way.
So I think that to come to a realization that you cannot be perfect in all fields, if you would have asked Chen 2 years ago, I would answer, I can do this and I can do that and blah, 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 and come up with an answer. But because you ask me now, I think that I'm more mature to understand and realize that I cannot be the best mom, the best entrepreneur, the best wife, because you cannot. And who says that you can? I don't know. I don't believe in that. But what I can do is to try. So I think that choosing to be an entrepreneur gave me the freedom to be a good mom. I think that I relatively am a good mom. I pick them up. I know that from 5 to 8 or 4:30 to 7:30, I'm with the kids. And after that, I can open the computer and work. And I actually do that. I'm very mad that men cannot do that. This is a different topic in Israel, what I see here in the society, but whatever. I think everyone can do it if they want to do it, by the way. And in terms of business, I think efficiency. I think that it doesn't matter how you don't need to be upset if you don't work your ass off or you don't work like, I don't know, 10 hours a day. But small wins are good for confident. So I learned to think every day or every week or every month about my small wins. And then when I have small wins and I can reach them, okay, good, I reached them. I cannot always do more, right? But still. And good wife, you need to ask my husband, but it's tough. It's challenging, but we're trying to work it out. But it's challenging. I don't think it's very easy, and I don't think you can be perfect in everything.
I think maybe the management skills that you acquired, maybe also early on, having a mentor and understanding your management style, enables you to have more freedom because you can trust the teams that you manage.
I think so too. And, I had new employees a couple of months ago and he said, oh my God, I still need to get used to it, that you're not micromanager me. So, but sometimes I trust, but I give a chance. But if I get disappointed, it's done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Like Scorpio. That's it. I cannot trust again.
So you fire them or do
most
they get a
probably.
chance?
Yes, I always give second chance. I learned that because I was about to fire someone in Clicksmob, and you need to do a shimua hearing here in Israel, and I actually gave her a chance, and she was amazing. So it actually happened to me. Everyone, really? Yes, it happened to me. People can change. So because of this, I always give a second chance. I used not to.
But you hold a grudge a little, and that you're
yes,
trustless.
It takes time to earn my trust. Yes, definitely. But it happened once, so maybe it can happen again. But it only happened once.
Like, it seems to me like it maybe takes time to genuinely win your trust, but you do give them the benefit of the doubt and the trust as a given until they break it.
For sure, yeah.
And I think that's an important lesson.
Yeah. I think that it just worked for me in the past. So until it will not work again,
it sounds like it's something that you learned from your mentor.
Maybe
back in the days.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't even think about it, but yes.
So you're a big feminist.
Yeah.
And
yes and no. I have to say yes and no, because I'm not going.
Be yes and no.
Yes, because I'm not. Oh my God, talk to me like
burning bras.
Exactly, or at the end of the day, and I understand that I'm the mother and my husband is the father, and we used to live in San Francisco
but
until recently.
It upsets you that at 4:30 they can't get the children out.
It upsets me that the default is that the mom will pick up the kids, or if the kids are sick in school, the first call will be the mom. So yes, it upsets me. This is what upsets me. Or why fathers think, so once a week I'll leave work early. Wait, what do you mean? But we will think differently. So it took me some time. So, that's why I said yes and no.
Yeah, but you said in Israel that upsets me. What was happening in San Francisco in that?
I think that the work-life balance is amazing in San Francisco.
Why?
So first of all, you can leave early. You have Saturday, Sunday for the family. You have paternity leave. My husband has I think 6 to 8 weeks paternity leave, not instead of me, in addition to me. And it's not based on California law, right? It's not according to the law. It's the perks that the companies provide. And here, the society, my friend gave birth, and it's not even in his mind to ask his boss to leave early, 1 day or 2 days. It's like, it's not the norma here.
It's true.
It's not the norm. It's
you know what? It's true, and I find it upsetting too.
And it's upsetting. And I'm not saying, okay, it has to be equal. All this 50-50, give me a break. My husband is an amazing dad. Seriously, is amazing. But it's not 50-50. Even if I want it to be 50-50, but it's just not. It can be 55, it could be 60-40, but it's not 50-50.
Why? What's the difference? Like the big difference there?
No, it's not just the big difference. But,
Mother Nature.
But yeah, it's the Mother Nature, I think. It's not because he doesn't want, I don't want. Maybe I don't give it even. He doesn't, I don't ask. right?
Right.
You know, it's like it took me time to ask for help from a babysitter or a cleaner. Why? Because I can do it all. Why?
Right.
Right? And men will ask for help. So it's not because, but in Silicon Valley, I think it's different. It's very hard to say it. I'm here, 2 weeks, I think? And oh my
Feeling the
God, it
pressure.
drives me nuts. It's
What,
kind of
society?
annoying. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. I have
What?
to say that it's
In
annoying.
what sense, though?
That they don't leave early to pick up the kids. Why?
I don't think they feel they can.
Exactly. I think I don't blame them. I blame their bosses or the society or thing. I don't think I blame them because they're afraid to ask. But what if, I don't know, it will be, maybe we need to, I don't know, to ask for, I don't know, a law, I don't know. Something needs to change. Or maybe it's too early. It was like this 20, 30 years ago in Silicon Valley, but it's different. It's very different.
Let's hope for exponential progress there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also late bloomers sometimes in society.
But we are only like 70, you know?
Yeah.
We're young.
Yeah, we're young.
So,
Definitely
And
true.
I've heard your team joke around with you, which I found amusing, that you didn't take much time off after you gave birth both times.
yeah, but this is my decision. I don't know if it's good or not good.
How long did you
It's not
take?
good for me. I didn't. Like a day after I worked, but the baby was with me until like 3 months, I think. He went to meetings with me, or I interview with him and or with her. So they
Isn't that incredible?
The baby should be like, he knows mobile already. Right?
yeah. He's very good with numbers. It was
Amazing manager.
but I'm just saying that it wasn't good for me. I was very upset. I was
Was this
really
out of
worried.
stress?
I was really worried that I'll be upset after
Was
giving
relevance
birth.
part of the
lose?
decision? Being scared not to be relevant?
Oh no,
No.
So what
No,
was it?
I don't
How
think
did you
so.
not give yourself the time?
because I was afraid that I cannot handle it to be at home and to focus on motherhood. And then what? What am I going to do and speak about what? Am I going just to
Diapers.
feed and sleep? And it's like, and oh my God, when he's sleeping, go to sleep. Really? I hate when people say that. Are you kidding me? Like, who does that? So for me, it wasn't, like, I understand when people need it, but for me, it's not good. So now
That's
maybe I'll
very
take
aware.
a week.
Although you're ambivalent because you're also saying maybe it wasn't good for you.
Yeah, it wasn't good for me, you know?
It wasn't.
That's what I'm saying, that maybe now I
met
will.
respect.
Maybe I'm in San Francisco. I have less employees there. Most of my employees are in Israel. They very independent. It's different. But again,
Maybe you've earned it.
Yeah, but again, I'll do it like for a few days, a week.
I don't think you'll ever just disappear off the map for a while. It's just not your nature.
And why not? Like, I can be with you can be
you have
with
the
your
privilege.
Facebook and Instagram. I can be with my emails. Like, I'm not, I don't think that it's very tough, in my opinion.
But it's special, and I do find it inspiring so long, because I'm looking at you and it seems, I think you're unsure if it was good in the long run for yourself, but you seem fine and happy.
I'm fine.
So I
and my
think
kids are fine, right?
Yeah, that's-
Because after like
Yeah.
a
That's
month
the right
or
question.
Yeah.
After like,
and by the way, how are the kids?
yeah, they're amazing. And after a month or 2 months, I flew to Barcelona. I think Barcelona was like MW, and everyone told me, "Oh my God, what are you?" Oh, everything is good. They don't even remember.
That's annoying, I guess.
It's so annoying. Everyone,
Just mind your own business.
It's so annoying.
Not everyone. I met you there. I didn't ask you that.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Sure. Yeah, everyone knew. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she just
It was
gave
a very
birth,
big
like,
rumor.
2
Yeah?
months." Yeah.
Like what, people were being critical?
Yeah, she just gave birth
No,
months ago.
Listen, it's something to talk about. It's a not normal decision. So it's something to talk about. So the people who are not empathetic as parents, they were
Critical.
no, they were saying that's amazing, great decision. Wow, she's so passionate. And
But
the other side,
nobody asked someone that I knew that his wife gave birth a week before, and he was there.
What are you doing here?
Right.
And he was there.
That is annoying.
Oh my God.
That is annoying.
Oh my God. So this is what I mean about the society.
That's true.
So, a week. Okay?
Yeah.
So, that's...
You
I
just
don't
do your
think-
own thing.
Exactly.
Which is what
and
you're
never
doing.
judge. And I
It's so
learned,
dangerous to
I
judge.
used to judge all the time before I moved to Brandeis.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, before I I became a little bit American, I think, and I used to judge all the time. And then when I moved to
You mean that
Brandeis,
Americans judge?
no, that Israelis.
Right, that's
yeah,
what I thought.
yeah.
Okay.
Before I became a little bit American, so I used to judge a lot, and then when I moved there, and I just learned how to accept others, I think I stopped judging.
So, Chen, where do you see yourself in 10 years? What are you?
Wow, 10 years. I don't know in 10 years. I know in like less than 10 years, but hopefully with more kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And building and selling companies. I'll leave it broad, but building and selling companies.
And is it going to be in the same industry? Because I don't think you can.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
may have found your industry.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be in the same industry.
But you'll still make sure to always be connected in other industries just in case.
Always. I think I learned my mistake first time, and I'm trying not to do it again.
Got it.
So first of all, thank you very much.
Thanks
We
for
really
inviting
appreciate it. I'm going to give a few notes here about like when you talked about it, because there's a few interesting things. Like, tell me if I'm wrong about it.
Okay.
But what am I? First of all, this is not something we learned, but I think it's one of the best sentences I've heard. Investment banking helps motherhood, which is
It's very
so
funny.
you mothers out there, if you really want to know how to be a mother, you have to be an investment banker.
Everything will seem simple.
So one of the things is like networking. So you said you're focusing on networking as CEO. You think that networking, not only in your industry, but anything around, helps you think, helps you have more connections, and keeps your options open.
I call it personal network effect.
Personal network effect.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So P&A.
I guess.
Okay. So
E,
P&A.
I would say.
Yeah.
E, effect.
Yeah.
Affect. That's
Yeah.
the name. Okay. And be a person, which is
Yeah.
really important to you.
Yeah.
So that's a lesson of likability, which actually helps you empower employees that they want to respect you and work for you, right? Which is another lesson you find a dream. So having an end goal and cutting back to how to get that end goal.
Correct.
I think this is a great idea. And small wins build confidence, and confidence means success.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing anything, you have to know enough to feel really confident in the room, and you have more a better success rate.
You know, it's like when we get dressed, and sometimes people think it's ugly, but you're confident enough that you look amazing this day. It's the same thing.
Right, right. Fair enough. So that's a great lesson. I'm thinking of going to be an investment banker to learn how to be a mother, and I'm definitely going to take that end game.
Ren's a feminist.
And that's it. So thank you very much, and
Thanks.
we'll hope to see you in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Thank
should
you.
come
This was super
visit.
inspiring.
Thanks.
Real life.
Superpowers.
Up in the sky, it's a bird.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
It's alive!
Real life.
Superpowers.